stop me drinking my coffee. Oh well. So now for example number 7, example number 6 was really kind of rigged up, right? We had the base, we had the logarithmic function with a base of e and of some power of e. And so now, what if you're not so lucky? So what about this? The natural log of this, 23.5. Well, we know that that's the log base e of 23.5, and technically if we want to get all fancy pants about it, we would say that e to the y should equal 23.5. Well, e itself is an irrational number, approximately 2.72, right? So, yeah, I wouldn't expect anybody to be able to do this off the top of their head, so what do we got to use? Calculator. So now to find the answer on the calculator, it has the natural log function programmed in it. And so what was it, 23.5? Is that what it was? Whoops, wrong button there. And so if I hit enter, it'll give me the answer. It's 3.157. So this answer is 3.157. And I suppose if I wanted to be all technical, fancy pants, I should put the approximation symbol there, right? Now, remember the relationship between that and how could I verify and double check this answer if I was taking the ACT or the SAT? Give you a clue. Well, what would I do to verify that? On my calculator. Real quick, it would only take me 3 seconds. Could I do could I do e raised to the, now what do I raise e to? 3 yeah, so the 3.157, and it should be pretty close to 23.5, right? Now it's not exactly 23.5 because Mr. Adams rounded. If I would have went 0.000421, it would have been closer. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, why would I double check that? If I got the answer on the calculator, why would I try to enter it in the calculator another way? Because I might have gotten excited. I was like, oh, logs. I know logs. Mr. Adams talked about logs all the time. And what am I doing right now? Does anybody see my mistake? I accidentally put in log instead of the natural log. So, I mean, I could just go and go, oh, yeah, it's 1.37 and write it down. By the way, will both answers be on the SAT or ACT?
Yeah.
They sure will. Yeah. So it only took me an extra 3 or 4 seconds to verify it. And sometimes doing things too, like going, double checking your work and notice that when Mr. Adams goes over it, like I don't have any notes, right? I'm literally solving these problems in front of you. And when I literally solve the problems in front of you, I myself make a mistake. And it's funny because I record these videos, and when I make a mistake, I'll get a step or 2 down, and sometimes you guys won't say anything because you don't want to interrupt me because I'm recording. Please interrupt me if I make a mistake. But before I finish the problem, usually I catch the mistake. Have you ever noticed that? I almost always catch the mistake before we get to the final answer. Because Mr. Adams has developed this habit of like double checking my work every step or every other step. And that's a good skill to have, especially if you guys are students, right? So and you're math students and you're taking a test. So that's what you want to develop. You just don't want to hurry up, plug it into the calculator and assume that the answer is correct, right? You may have plugged it in correctly. You may have been in a hurry, and so when very rarely will you make the same mistake twice. So when Mr. Adams takes an important test, I hurry up and find the answer by hand. Then I double check it in the calculator, and then I try to think of a third way to do it. And when I do my research at Notre Dame, it's the same thing. I don't have the answer in the back of the book. And I do a lot of math. So I calculate the answer, and I look at my answer, then I think, is there another way I can find the same answer? And then I do the math that way. And I usually try to find the answer 3 or 4 different ways, and if they all match up, I feel pretty confident that I have the right answer. But I catch catch my own mistakes sometimes that way, right? So that's what we want to get in the habit of doing. Okay, any questions about that one? There's another example, but you just